Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are diving into a filing from Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Were they successful in merging, or did they merge into a pile of debt? Let's find out. This report outlines Hewlett Packard Enterprise's recent acquisition of Juniper Networks, which is another company. This deal changes the game for HPE and the tech world. We'll break down how the merger went down, what it means for Juniper's shareholders, and what it all cost HPE. Before we jump in, if you're into understanding what's really going on behind the scenes of big business moves, make sure to subscribe. We also have a Discord community for more in-depth chats linked in the description below. So, on July 2, 2025, HPE finalized its merger with Juniper Networks. They officially completed the agreement that was initially announced way back in January 2024. Juniper is now a part of HPE. This means HPE now owns Juniper. At the time the merger became official, a subsidiary of HPE merged into Juniper. It's like one company swallowing another, with Juniper becoming a wholly owned subsidiary of HPE. Basically, Juniper is part of HPE now. Each share of Juniper's common stock was converted into the right to receive $40 in cash. This excludes shares owned by Juniper HPE, as shares were immediately cancelled. So if you held Juniper stock, you got $40 per share. But it's not just about the stockholders themselves, as to what about those who had options to buy Juniper shares. Those options were converted into options to buy HPE shares. It's like swapping one ticket for another. And those who had restricted stock units of Juniper common stock. It gets a bit more complicated and dependent on if they're Juniper board members, employee or non-employee. Non-employee members receive the merger consideration for each share. If those individuals were non-board members, they were converted into a time-vesting restricted stock unit award in respect of HPE shares, but the number of shares was determined based on many factors, including looking at past performance depending on each individual situation. Because of this merger, Juniper became a wholly owned subsidiary of HPE. But how much did all of this cost? The total price tag for HPE to acquire Juniper was approximately $13.40. That's a massive amount of money. HPE paid for this through a combination of cash they had on hand, commercial paper issuances, which is a fancy form of debt, and borrowings from credit facilities. They basically took out some loans to help pay for it, which HPE previously announced a while back. HPE also put out a public announcement about the merger closing in a press release. There was a small roadblock with the Department of Justice, the DOJ. The Department of Justice, or DOJ, is responsible for enforcing the law and making sure companies are not breaking federal law, including antitrust laws. But HPE and Juniper reached a settlement with them. To satisfy the DOJ, the settlement requires HPE to sell off its instant on business. This is like selling off a part of the company to make the whole deal acceptable. Additionally, they have to license some WAN products to competitors via auction. So what's next? The report mentions that financial statements related to the acquisition will be filed later in order to provide more insight on how everything changed due to this merger. Now, what's the big picture here? HPE just made a massive strategic move acquiring Juniper Networks for over $13 billion. This significantly expands HPE's networking capabilities and market presence. Let's analyze this whole situation, starting with one thing on the negative side. Juniper shareholders got a good deal, but HPE took on a lot of debt. Now, in the plus column, this deal positions HPE as a stronger player in the market and allows them to offer way more services and expand into fields of technology they may not have originally been in. HPE's instant on business divestiture and licensing shows they are willing to work with regulators to complete deals. In conclusion, HPE's acquisition of Juniper is a bold move that should strengthen its position, but investors would do well to keep an eye on the company's debt and on how well the two companies integrate over the next year. Alright, that's our breakdown of HPE's acquisition of Juniper Networks. What are your thoughts on this merger? Do you think this will be a successful acquisition? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord channel linked in the description below to join the community. Thanks for spending your time with me, and I'll see you next time.